Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Aurogiri. Earlier, as in last video I made, I said I'd probably make a video about the Mephistopheles weapons. And I am. So I pulled up some wiki tabs and looked at the weapons. I looked at them last night and I feel like I know enough about them to, give a little guide, a little heads up, what's up, all that stuff. So right now I'm holding the Blade of Oats. This is the one of the weapons that can be identified from a Mephistopheles weapon drop. So this is going to be very, very similar to Satan and the crosses and all that stuff. However, there are more tiers of weapons, and instead of 300,000, it costs 8 million to identify one of these weapons. So that's pretty cool. So you can see behind me, people are going in and out, Therian and Asthma, just going in and out, in and out. So that's awesome. So yeah, there's 8 Mephistopheles weapons: sword, axe, Adachi, spear, twin, bow, wand, staff. The 8 weapons that have been here forever. So that's pretty cool. Yeah. So let's begin. So there's 8 weapons you need to get. Obviously, you're going to need a lot of your weapon. So be prepared for money. Every run of Mephistopheles that you get an S on, you guaranteed 1 million chests. So it's not that bad. You'll be making money farming him anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. Weapons don't drop all that commonly, so chances are you'll you'll get 8 boxes before you get a weapon. On average. I don't know how it's going to be with Fever, but I can't wait to see. So let's get into the meat and potatoes of it. So there's 8 weapons, and they can all be crafted into their second stage, which is called a vow weapon. It'll be like blank weapon name dash vow. So let's talk to Yoshitsune here. I have a couple actually. And these recipes are not dropped, so they're not affected by fever or drop boost or anything like that. All of his recipes drop via rewards for getting an SS, S, and A ranking. So, resurrection is very, very important in these battles. So I have the spear recipe, so here it is. So I can bring up the picture of it. It's a level 121 weapon, so even though we have access to Mephistopheles stuff, we cannot equip them until the level cap goes up. So there it is. I'm holding it like a sword because of the glitched animation of me holding a sword normally. And now I'm holding a spear like it was a sword, and it sort of looks like how Himiko holds her staff, to be honest. So that's the spear, the Lance of Oblivion Vow. Honestly, I think it's a very beautiful, handsome spear. But, okay. So to make the vow, I'm going to need a Wand of Newig, which is his wand, at plus 50, a bow at plus 50, and the lance itself at plus 60. And yes, for God's sakes, use a button if you're going to 60. These weapons are rare and identifiable. It's going to take a long time. Don't mess with it. Okay, so first things first, you need 15 Nocturnus Hemlocks. I have 19. Where did I get these? This is Mephistopheles' normal drop. If he had a white bag, it's the Nocturnus Hemlock. I don't know what the drop rates are, but they drop pretty commonly. I've only done maybe 40 Mephistopheles runs by now, and I've gotten about 19 of these, so 1 every 2 runs on average you'll get some. Fiery Homunculus, however, is his harder drop. It is his rare drop, and you need a lot. You'll need these for everything, every tier. But I have 4 of them, and I need 10. So I'm going to say these things drop rate is like, I don't know, 20%. Because if I've done 40 runs, it's a 10% drop rate because I've done around 40 runs and I have 4 bags. So that's my estimate based on experience. And then you're going to need some seedlings, which drop from the news or from rewards from the dungeon itself. They're all really easy dungeons, so I wouldn't worry too much about it. I'm not worried about them at all. You just got to run them. So, turquoise seedling, red seedling, silver seedling, fountain seedling, and I've already gotten a couple of each, or except for these 2. And when you're doing those dungeons, you can get them from rewards just from completing the dungeon and not dying. And there are also these lightning news you can spawn by doing several different tricks in the dungeon. Like in the dragon one, you just go left and go jump on some rocks and trigger a switch and you'll spawn one. And Genbu Temple, it's very easy to spawn that one. But the moral is you just spawn them, you kill them, and they have a chance of dropping either sigils or seedlings, so they make the farming process a lot easier. And then you're going to need the sigils here, like dragon sigil, sparrow, tiger, turtle, and moonfur, because why not? Whatever, go run Dew Creek, go get it, no problem. So maybe you want to stock up on some moonfur, everyone, you know, get a stack of 999. You never know, you don't want to worry about it. But these sigils, very easy, you just run dungeons, you just run, they just show up every now and again. It's like getting a Stardust carving in my experience, they're not hard at all. Then you need 250 dark stones, so wardings are very, very important. Breaking down mags, like north mags and stuff, will give you dark stones. So that is a big, big help. Dark Stone Day is, I believe, it's either Saturday or Sunday. I'd have to double check, but it's one of those 2 days. And Piercing Stone, you just break down mags and you get Piercing Stones. I wouldn't worry too much about that, but after we look at how many Piercing Stones we're going to need for this weapon, it might be a little questionable. And then Miracle Stones is your last one you need. You do not need as many miracles as you do the other stone variants. However, it's still a big amount. And yesterday was Thursday. And I felt like a Rebecca Black song right there. But yesterday was Thursday, and that was the warding dungeon for wind. And Thursday is the day that gives me Miracle Stones. I made sure to do it 3 times, and I got probably 70 Miracle Stones. Or at least tried to do it 3 times. I did it twice. So I would have got 20 Miracle Stones, 40 some Miracle Stones yesterday. That's pretty good. And then obviously you're going to need Idama for these bitches too, and that sucks dick. A lot of dick. You know, like a healthy amount. Like you could make a living off of it. So, you know, we have dailies now, so Idama's not that bad. I honestly don't care about other wardings unless it's fever and I need drops for Dragon Arcs. Because like I said before, I still want to make the Night Sky first. But, you know, just sticking to Mephistopheles, you just do daily dungeons all the time now. You don't do anything else. If you're the least bit interested in Mephistopheles, and that's your prime focus, just do dailies every day, hell, twice a day, or 3 times if you want to use some energy stores every now and again. You know, I'd wait for a fever if anything, but, you know, it's up to you. Or log in, something like that, because they will affect Idama drops. So that's cool. And then you're going to need, lastly, 1 of each gem, so moon gems, and then a myrtle, a scarlet, and a cerulean. So cerulean's real easy, scarlet, myrtles, but these things are pretty simple. You just go run a dungeon on the moon and go get them. So, you know, stones and gems, it's whatever at this point. Moonfur, whatever. Sigils, I don't really care. It'll just take time. And I have a lot of time. So, Hemlocks, pretty easy to get. Homunculus, like, they have a fair drop rate. It's not that bad. And then you're going to need these weapons. So, like I said, on average, if you don't fail a smelt, you're going to need 5 or 6 of these weapons. You know, I can never remember how many it takes to smelt something. So it takes 9 artisan swords to get something to 100, therefore it will take 4 to get it to 50? Yeah, because it goes to plus 10, then 20, then 30, then 40, then 50. So you're going to need 5 of this weapon, 5 of this weapon, and 6 of this weapon. Now that's assuming there's no fails on your way up. I assume there will be because I played this game for a year now. So I'd say you're going to need about 7 to 10 of each weapon to make a vow. So that could take forever. And if people say, well, what if I want to artisan my weapon? I'm going to tell you, don't do it. Don't waste an artisan on a vow. This is the same thing as a star. Don't be stupid. Don't waste artisans trying to get this thing ready. You're going to need those artisans for the later tiers of the weapon. So that's pretty cool. So that's the vow, and as like I said before, the vow is a level 121 weapon, so we can't even use them right now, so that's good. That's good. No one can like over-invest into them. So now that we talked about their construction, let's actually talk about what they do. So this weapon, it doesn't show us, like we see the description here, it doesn't show us anything the normal one does. If we go look at the vow itself, it doesn't tell us anything about it, nothing at all. So on the wiki here, I have the vow pulled up. And I'll be looking at the spear for all of them, and I think they're all the same, but I could be wrong. The blade of Oats might have slice, or as the spear has pierce. That is very possible, and the axe might have impact. You never know. So I'll be sure to double check at some point. Okay, so what does this bitch do? Recover 800 HP every 1 second while seated. So what is seated? Seated is something that PC players and people who play with keyboards can do. If you play with just a controller, you do not have access to this option. But on the keyboard, there's an emote that lets you just sit down. And apparently what that means is while you're sitting down, you will recover this 800 health per second. So you will heal yourself while this weapon is equipped. Now, I don't think I'm going to dig out my keyboard and plug in batteries just to heal myself, so I don't know how good this feature is going to be, at least on the vow. I know that the HP gets up higher the more tiers we go, but we'll see how it goes. Oh, hey Luxor, how are you? I'm just doing a guide video for Mephistopheles because we're here now. So, while equipped with a vow, you lose 40% of your HP. So that kind of sucks, but it's not that bad. Lately, my buddy Suzaku's been using the normal versions of these weapons, which take 50% of your HP in place of a sacrifice weapon. So it's actually faster and doesn't take SP or cooldown or anything. So he likes to always be under half to use his 105 max, like true skill force. So what he does is he'll revive, switch to his Adachi because he thinks it's cool for Mephistopheles, switch back, and he's already at half health and he just goes in. So that's a really good feature to have. It's actually, you can use them like a sort of utility, which is really cool. But the higher tiers you get, the less HP you lose, so that's pretty cool. So the vow, negative 40% HP, plus 60% SP, and 5 movement speed. For spear, it's going to give you 30 pierce, 30 dark, negative holy, negative wind, negative mountain. The reason it's negative wind and negative mountain is because those are Mephistopheles' weaknesses. So when you're going to be fighting Mephistopheles, you're going to want to use wind and mountain. And you know, if you know anything about the game, that just screams Gakuho. Gakuho is 60 mountain, 60 wind, 115 dragon arc weapon. Very good. You know, Spear's got Earth Upending Spear, Stone Spire Barrier, and Verdant Storm. Personally, I'm a Verdant Stormer. That's all I do on him. I use my Nova with Verdant Storm. So sword users will probably want to go triple Blue Fang Blade on a Nova with double Verdant, and that would do really, really good work on Mephistopheles, because those are his only weaknesses, and I just hit him with that all the time. So furthermore, if you have 120 vitality, which everyone should by now, if you're level 120, there's no question you have it. And it gives you 1,000 extra attack, which is awesome. Then it says if your HP is 80% or more, you will gain rank 5, skill force 30%. If you're under 35% health, you lose 40% of your attack power. So that's very similar, excuse me, to the Night Sky. The Night Sky is like the ultimate dragon arc weapon. However, when you go under 50% health, your attack gets cut in half, so that kind of sucks. But it's still revered as a really, really good weapon because of its triple damage rate and its element and versatility and all that good stuff. So this is falling in the same camp. It's like the darkness element to it. So let's move on to the next tier. So now we have the Lance of Oblivion completion. However, I just want to note one extra thing about the Vow recipes. So Vow recipes drop on all 3 difficulties. So normal, hard, and hell. When I got this spear recipe for Vow, I did it on our first hard run. But as I went on the wiki, it shows that Vows will drop on normal, hard, and hell. So that's just something to note. But you can get all the Vows on normal, just to clarify. So completion recipes, just to state on them, will only drop on hard and hell. And our group has already beaten hard, we've already beaten hell, we can do hell in 8 minutes, we can probably do hard in 5. So I'm not too worried. Completion is the next level up. It's a level 122 weapon, so already stronger. Gold rating, base durability 1800. So these ones have an extra ability called weapon effective distance 1 meter. So all your moves gain another meter of range. So Water Dragon would actually have range that would look like what it's actually doing. You know, Spirit Blast would be wider. You know, for bows, they'll really get to see the advantage of that. Wands, you can stay even further back. Just a it's just a useful thing. It's actually nice. So this one has an extra 1000 health per second every time you sit. So that's pretty cool. This is negative 35% HP, so you get 5% more HP, 10% more SP at 70%, 10 movement speed, 40 pierce, 40 dark, and then negative 20 to all the other elements of wind, holy, and mountain. And if your vitality is 120, and when I say vitality, I mean whatever your stat that corresponds to your weapon's affinity is 120 or higher, you will gain an extra attack. And it is, in this case, 1500 extra attack, which is huge. Which is very, very friggin' huge. Because these things already bolster high amounts of attack at 8,805 for spear as a base. So we're looking at like 10,000 base attack weapons here, people. It's huge. Okay. So these ones, the completion... Sorry for yawning. But the completion is, if your HP is 90% or more, you'll gain 50% more skill force to all your rank 5. So that's pretty awesome. Basically the same thing as your 105s. You know, you gain that extra 50%, but for being high. So you'll always... It's actually pretty cool like that. And then if you're under... And if you're under 35% of your health, you'll lose 30% attack. So not 45, not 50 like the others, but it's still 35%. Hey, Sasuke. So these things don't come with innate abilities or ogis or anything, in case you're wondering. Only the final form does, and we'll get to that when we get there. So in order to make a completion, you're going to need a Lance of Oblivion vow at plus 80. So... Am I going to tell you to... Yeah, I am, Sasuke. So, in my personal opinion, yes, you're going to artisan up a vow to 80. You are not going to make... You're realistically not going to make 12 vows and hope to get it to 80. Like, that's huge. So I wouldn't do that. I'd artisan it up, personally. Okay, so you're gonna need a lance of you're gonna need the vow at 80, and then you're going to need either one of two Magatamas. You're going to need either the Magatama of Prayer, or you're going to need the Magatama of Detestable Light. And both of these Magatama recipes drop off of Mephistopheles. They don't drop, sorry. They're rewards for getting an SS, S, and A. They can drop on normal, hard, and hell. So our friend Cluster already has the prayer one. Why do you use spears? Because I like spears. That's pretty much it. So these Magatamas have a bunch of effects on them, but they're actually like, don't even think of using them. They're not good at all. They're just Magatamas. And these have a huge recipe, these mags. So you need 3 Magatamas of Temptation, which actually drop from Mephistopheles. I've gotten 3 Temptations so far, so I can actually make this one. And you're going to need 15 Hemlock, 10 Homunculus, so the same thing as a Vow. And you're going to need 25 Seedlings of... like 25 turquoise seedlings, 15 reds, 25 silvers, 15 Mount Fountain, and then like, you know, 15 ancient dragon sigils, 25 sparrow, 15 tiger, 25 turtle. You're gonna need like hundreds of sigils for this, so I'm not really gonna specify how many you need, because the wiki's here and you're gonna see the recipe and you're just gonna be like, well shit, I'm just gonna run this for the rest of my life. And then you're gonna need some more moon fur, dark stones 150 and 50 miracle stones. And this one, the detestable light is used to make the staff, bow, axe, and Adachi, whereas the Magatama of prayer is used to make sword, spear, twin, and wand. So back to the Oblivion. So you need the prayer for this one, or you need your whichever Magatama you need that one. You need the vow at 80. You're going to need 40 hemlock, so lots of runs. 30 homunculus, so lots of more runs. A hell of a lot of runs. Holy shit. And then 40 seedlings of timber, 30 seedlings of fire, 40 silver seedlings, 30 fountain seedlings. So 40, 30, 40, 30. And then you're going to need 30 sigils, 40 sigils, 30 sigils, 40 sigils, some moon fur, because why the fuck not? And, like, it's 20 moon fur, it's not even important. And then you're going to need 350 dark stones, 350 piercing stones, 200 miracle stones, 300 idama, and then you're going to need 3 of each gem, or 3 of each of the normal gems, and then 2 of the ivory and obsidian, which are the really easy to get gems, so I wouldn't really worry about that. The only thing that's hard to get is myrtles, but, you know, if you're going to grind out Mephistopheles, you can grind out some myrtles. So, you know, big list of stuff, but it's just tedious. There's no, like, impossibly hard 2% drop. There's no spirit seal. Like, it's not that bad. You know, by the time you would run, like, Palace to get a seal, you'd already have all these drops. If you were to, like, equate each of them to a moon dungeon, you know, it's easy. Okay. So that's the completion. Next, there's a level after completion, and it is called the Warped. So in this case, it'll be Dark Lance of Oblivion Warped. It is a level 123 weapon with a base attack that ranges up to 9746. That is huge! That is a 1000 attack boost from completion. So completion is nowhere near the ending point. So this thing also has the 1 meter effective distance, 1250 HP every second while seated, whatever. Now we're back up to negative 40 health while equipping it. The completion was 35, this one is 40, and it gives you 80% more SP. So you're going to have a shit ton of SP. Eva, you're a spear girl? There's only certain kinds of spears you like. You don't like all of them. Then it gives you 10 movement speed, 50 pierce, 50 dark, and then negative 50 to all of its elements, holy, wind, and mountain, like before. Extra 2000 attack. So this weapon is going to be like, let's say base attack is 95, like 9,500 plus 2,000. It's going to have over 10,000 base attack, which is amazing. That's before smelt. It's going to be huge. Huge. And then this one is if you have 90% or more health, you gain 60 skill force. If you're under 40% health, you lose 40% attack. And it has the basic combo Skyrend. So it's like a dark basic combo. You're welcome, Eva. And this one here, I don't know everything about it. So the Warped. So Warped says its recipe comes from the Contract Realm Stamina, and it only drops from SS and S as a reward from normal. That's what the wiki's telling me, so normal's cool. So let me just go look at something in game for a second here. So I am holding the Blade of Oats normal right now. But let's go to ranking here. Ranking. Ancient Room of Rites, whatever. Let's just scroll down here. Okay. Let's go down. So Contract Realm Stamina. I remember in an earlier video I thought this was Origami, but it's not. So this is Contract Realm Stamina. We do not have access to it. It's going to be coming in the next update, because when you do this... Now this is a mini spoiler, but not really. So after you complete this quest line, your next objective is go talk to Chifuri in the Rift, or Chifuri materialized. And what I think it is there's going to be some kind of, you need to go to the land of lasting night to fight the real Mephistopheles or something, and whatever. And it's going to be the contract realm. And the contract realm, in my opinion, is where the contract realm is where so Faustus made the contract with Mephistopheles to like trade his soul or whatever. So this is going to be the place where that contract is made, and Momo's probably going to want to go there to make a contract so he can forget about shit or whatever the plot ensues. And then Azura's going to happen. He's going to remember his memories and all that stuff. So that's probably what's going to happen next update in the contract realm. That's my opinion. So that's contract realm. Okay, so it drops on normal SSS, so you know, just rezzing. And on normal, you'll have 30 revives, so whatever. It's probably just going to be a more harder Mephistopheles fight. I haven't really looked that far ahead because I don't like to, but you know, that's how it's going to be. So basic Skyren. So what do you need to make this thing apart from this recipe? So to make this, you're going to need your weapon of completion at plus 70. And then made me time out. What do you mean made me time out? So you're going to need your weapon of completion at plus 70. And then you're going to need another weapon of completion at plus 70. So since I'm on the spear page now, spears are going to require the bow of completion, like the bow of Rahuri. How the fuck do you say it? Bow of Raurihi. Fuck this. Raurihi. Raurihi? Whatever. You're gonna need the bow of Mephistopheles at plus like 70. So you're going to need 2 completions at plus 70. So that's a shit ton of artisan swords. And please remind me before the end of this so I can count how many artisan swords we're going to need on average, assuming we get one or two fails a go. So there you go. So you need 2 completions to make this bitch, and then it comes out. And then the warped is going to tell you like, ha, this isn't even my final form, because it isn't. So after that, this weapon can be smithed into 3 things. So like I said, warp. You need warps to make other stuff. So, okay. So this weapon is used to make the Dark Lance of Oblivion Nadir, the Blade of Oats Nadir, and the Twin Blades of Agony Nadir. So let's click on the lance. So the Dark Lance of Oblivion Nadir is also a level 123 weapon, so you don't have to go past level 123 to use these weapons. Its base attack is 9911, so almost 10,000 on spear. Its effective weapon distance is 2 meters. I just want to double check. Yeah, it is the only weapon in the tier, I guess it's tiers, in the Mephistopheles line that has 2 meters as an effective distance. Its sit down is 1500. It's negative 40% HP. It doubles your SP, 10 movement speed, 60 pierce, 60 dark, 120. Or for 120 in your stat, you gain 2000 attack. If you have 95, if you're basically at full health, you gain 25 skill force. If you're at 95, if you're at 90 health or higher, you're at 60% skill force. So full health, you'll be at 85 extra skill force. And if your health goes beneath 50, you will lose half of your attack. It has basic combo skyrending and comes with the Ogi Dimensional Cleave 7. So this is the Nadir, and is the only one that comes with an Ogi of rank 7. So that's going to be really awesome. What do you mean gives Oro? What's going on in my chat? Okay. So, in my opinion, you'd want like a dark move on these weapons, so at least one collapsing blade, and then just other things that correspond to the physical element. So it's pierce for me, so knowing me, I'm gonna have like Water Dragon, and Collapsing Blade, and some other Pierce move. Probably Water Dragon. So that might be my moveset for the Nadir, just because it's how I am. But I probably will try to skill change it every smelt, and if I get like Whirlwind Thrust 7, that'd be amazing, because that move is OP as fuck. But I tried to get Collapsing Blade 7, but chances are I'm just going to have Collapsing Blade 6. So, you know, try to get that from the Pointer Ruma. Basically the same thing as the Night Sky. So, you know, that's just how it is for me. And then for Ogis, I'm going to recommend Ogi Dimensional Cleave 7. Like, you just leave it there because it's the Darkness Ogi. Fantastic. And then, hopefully by the time we get this update, they will give us the Day 10 Ryu Mega Ogis, or the Gargoyle Megas. Hopefully they'll come out. And that'll be great. And then I would just throw on the Day 10 Ryu Mega Wave, because it only has Dark Element. So that's pretty interesting. And then for the Nadir, so what is this? Yeah, this is the Nadir. The Nadir drops from Contract Realm Stamina, Normal, SS, and S. So it's the same dungeon. So where you get your Warped is the same place you get your Nadir. And this is going to be fucking crazy for me to read this here. You're going to need 3 dark land, like you're going to need 3 warped weapons. So you're going to need a warped at plus 70, lance warped at plus 70, wand warped at plus 70, and blade of oats warped at plus 70. And to make this form, you're going to need 750 Idama. So the previous form did not require Idama. To make the warped, it doesn't take Idama because you need so many warps, and it's just going to take you, you know, it's like 250 per warped. So that's how the Idama is calculated there. And then you're going to need these Retrograde Elixirs. So 99 Retrograde Elixirs and 50 Empty Graves. And these are items that are just rewards from doing this Contract Realm. So, you know, they say 99, which probably means, yeah, the drop rates are that shitty. It's going to take you 99 runs to get your recipes. So, it's a pretty big chain of weapons, but it is something to work forward to. You know, I said that earlier. It's like looking forward to, but you also have to work. So that's interesting. So, that's pretty cool. But I think the weapon is worth it. It is very, very friggin' awesome. It looks very, very sexy. Very sexy indeed. I know Lyra already said he wants to get the Nadir, so I'll probably get dragged along with that too. Should be a fun time. But right now, PS4 can't even get the stuff. All we can do is get up to completion, and that's it. So that's pretty interesting. But even if we had completions, I'm pretty sure we could use them to beat up Lucifer. But we can't even use the weapons either. Even though we can get them, we can't even use vows at this point. It just doesn't happen. And if someone puts the Death Scythe Ogi on a Nadir, you can't say shit because they have a Nadir. Okay? So, that's pretty cool. Whew. So, let's look back. So you do not need Idama to make the mags, you need to make your vow. But, okay, so where is this? So to make the vow, you need, how much Idama? You need 200 Idama to make the vow. So then to make the completion, you need 300 Idama. So we're looking at 500 Idama. Yeah, basically. So 500 Idama to make a completion. To make a warped, you will need 1000 Idama, since you need 2 completions. So 1000 Idama to make a warped. And then to make a nadir, you are going to need 3 warped weapons. So to make 3 warped, that's going to take 3,000 Idama? Is that correct, or am I full of shit? Answer, yes. So 200 for the vow, 300 for the completion, so 500. You need 2 completions to make a warp, so 1,000. You need 3 warps, so 3,000. You need 3,750 Idama to make a nadir. So that is very, very interesting. Very, very interesting indeed. So that means daily every day. If you're planning on making Mephistopheles, you gotta do dailies every day. Not just 3,000, 3,750. So that is basically the equivalent of the Idama required to make 3.5 night skies. No, we have dailies now. Yeah, if we didn't, exactly. Exactly, it'd be out of the question. It'd be out of the fucking question. Rhyme is exactly right. So those are the Mephistopheles weapons. So let me just go back here, and I'm going to click on the Blade of Oats as a sword, and I'm going to click on the wand. Okay. So let's just look at the warps. So, warp. So for wand, they're going to have impact element on them. 50 impact. So what does that mean? So wands don't actually have physical elements, but they have 50 impact element. So how that's going to work is the only attack they have that's impact is their basic combo. So wands are pretty much going to put Dark Geki or maybe Flame Lance if they're so inclined. So, you know, I don't know if that's going to happen or not. And then yeah, so I don't know. I don't think wand's going to really take advantage of the impact element. If anything, you would just use that for Genai, because Genai has Collapsing Blade, which is dark, and the Benkeis are like 100% impact. So you could combo that pretty well if you're a wand user. That's. I'm just thinking like on the spot here. That's what I would do. Obviously you'd switch with the weapon anyway, unless you're going to like a Holy Vanguard or a Vanguard that uses Mountain or Wind. But for Vanguards like Miyamoto and Genai, who's Collapsing Blade, it would be very beneficial. Hey Sabrina, haven't seen you in a while, but I remember you. How are you? So then let's look at the Dark Blade of Oats. So the Blade of Oats, like I saw it, has Slice element 50, and the Nadir would obviously have 60. So 60 Slice, 60 Dark, great for Collapsing Blade, gonna be awesome. Spear, however, does not gain that bonus of both elements for Collapsing Blade, because our Collapsing Blade is Slice, but we gain Pierce. So, you know, tit for tat. So sword users, so it's not Pierce for everyone, it's going to be based on your element. So, in my opinion, it's going to be Sword and Adachi have Slice, Wand and Axe might have Impact, Bow and Spear will have Pierce, but let's just look at all of them, just to make sure. So, okay, I'm going to hop open the Adachi, going to pop open the Wand. Gonna try and find them all, but the links are hard to get. And on the wiki, when you try to look up the Nadir, you can't type in like Nadir. You have to go to like the Mephistopheles completion weapons, and then scroll down the list, and you have to click on Warped, and then you have to click on Nadir, as in this can be smithed into this, and this can be smithed into this. So it's kind of weird to use our wiki. Just letting y'all know. So where did it go? Okay, this Adachi. The Adachi has Slice element. Cool. Cool. Dark Wand. I'm just trying to find the other weapon types, and it's hard because I can't search for them. So can I type in Dark Axe? Okay, yeah, to find the Warped and the Nadir, I was actually wrong. You just, because they're called the Dark, and then weapon name, and then Nadir, you're just going to search for Dark, and they're going to show up. So Dark Axe of Instinct, Nadir. So that's a quick solution there. So Dark Axe, the axe has Slice element. So I thought it would have Impact, it doesn't, it has Slice. So that's going to be good. So Slice and Impact, pretty awesome. Or no, Slice and Dark. That's pretty good. So then what else did I want to look up? Dark Staff? Question mark? So the Dark Staff has... what element is on it? That's what I want to know. The staff has Impact element as well, for whatever reason. And there's a typo on the wiki. If you're looking for the Staff of Longing, you have to type in DAKR, as in it's not dark. You got 2 Inti-Raymis like you told me to. That's good, Sabrina. That's awesome. That's awesome. What? No. Maybe. Maybe, Eva. Maybe. Okay. So what have I not looked at? I looked at Staff, I looked at Sword, I looked at Adachi, I looked at Axe. Wand is Impact, Staff is Impact. Bow and Spear are going to be Pierce. Twin Sword is probably Slice, but I'll look it up just in case. Dark Twin Blades of Agony? Yes. Dark Twin Blades of Agony. They are Slice element. So, Bow and Spear Pierce. Staff and Wand are Impact. And then everything else is 100%. They're not 105s. They're 100, 105. No. Thank you, Ryan. They're not. Alright. Sabrina, you're going to want to get 105s. However, you want to hold on to them because they can be used as smelting materials. So, you know, just keep identifying them till you get a good 105 base, and then every consecutive one you get will just be used as a material to smelt them up. So you don't want to build them up as a base, but you can use them as materials. So just keep looking out for the 105s, just keep identifying them, but you're on the right track. So that's good, Sabrina. So that's all the Mephistopheles weapons from Vow to Nadir. 8 different classes. They cost 8 million to identify, and they should be a good struggle. Should be good weapons too. Really, really strong. So I'm going to unequip this weapon just because I don't like holding it. It cuts my HP in half. So for Mephistopheles, I've gotten the Twin Blades, the obviously the sword. I've gotten 2 swords, the Twin Blades, the yeah, they cost 8 mil, Ryan. 79999 whatever, how many nines I have to say. And so I've gotten the sword, the Adachi, 3 wands, and a staff. So yeah, 8 mil. Yeah. I can't show you right now, but it costs 8 mil. How much do they cost to repair? I don't know. I'll find out when I have like a completion or something. Actually, I can't. I can't even use them. No one knows. Because the base forms are base forms. They're shit. I wouldn't use them ever. So that's the my interpretation of the Mephistopheles weapons. If you're wondering about like a guide to actually farming him physically, I did a stream last night where we fought him a little bit, and we were very, very effective in fighting him. I know that Lyra was streaming our Mephistopheles fights the other day on Twitch, and his name is Life on Food Stamps. And we had a huge stream of us just fighting him. Like, we were destroying this man on normal in a minute. Our hell run was 8 minutes. Our hard is like 6. So if you want to just go watch those on his channel on Twitch, they're archived. You can watch the battle, how it plays out. But generally speaking, he has a pattern. He shoots skulls at you. You can perfect block them. However, even if you perfect block them and they, like you just when you block them, it just always perfect blocks. It's weird. I've never just normal blocked one. But when you block them, you'll take significantly less damage. However, your allies that are nearby can die just from that. So kinda bad. Like it has a collateral damage. So even if you survive the explosion, if you block it and someone's next to you and they don't block it, they could die. So that could happen. But generally what we do is like he has a mode where he stands up on like 6 of his scythe legs and then he shoots thunder at point blank range. If you ever see him just standing up like that, like GTFO, hit res point if you're fast enough or whatever, just run out and then just run away. And then go back in and keep hitting him. He's a stationary boss, so he's very easy. All I do is hit him with Whirlwind Thrust and Verdant Storm. I've leveled up my Verdant Storm 3 levels on him since fighting him. And I just use Chidori. I pop a Moth Orchid, but it doesn't really do anything. And on Hell, I'll use Feast of the Damned and just keep attacking, but it's not really that necessary. Res is the most important thing to farming Mephistopheles. In a good party, which I was with last night, all of us had Resurrection, Revival Potions, you name it. And that's great because you want to maintain that S or SS ranking, or at least an A. So that means you're allowed 2 revives and, you know, as many reses as you can get. And you're going to die a lot. And then he has a move where he falls down. And when he does that, make sure you don't get hit by his body because you'll be stunned for a long period of time and you can't inflict as much damage as you want to. But after he's stunned and he comes up from his stunned animation, if you're on any difficulty besides normal, you gotta get the hell out of there. Once his body starts shaking, run to the back of the room because he's gonna lightning net the entire floor. He also does a move where he shakes the entire battlefield. That move does no damage, so don't worry about it. You can attack through it, it just pushes you back. It's like an earthquake thing. But on normal, as a spear in some tanky classes, he'll do that big lightning net thing, and I can block through it. Like, I just block and then I get stunned, but I stay in the block animation somehow. And I'll take like 100 damage, 100 damage, 100 damage, and I just, whatever. It's like a sacrifice for me. But every other class should, like, GTFO. Is Lord Enma better than Magic Mags? Honestly, Sabrina, Lord Enma is only good if you're using rank 6s. However, you need both a Magic and a Lord Enma to make your Talon Breaker. And ultimately, you're just going to want to have 3 Talon Breakers. So I wouldn't worry about that too much. Your main focus should just be on... I mean, you can use what you have for now, but focus on the Talon Breakers. Like, keep those in mind. That's my opinion. So like I said before, the best things you want to hit him with are Wind and Mountain. Those are his biggest weaknesses. And he is also neutral to ice. So the rhyme weapons are very good. Axes will just hit him with Blistering Ice Wave. Lyra hits him for about 6-7 mil when he's under half. Just slamming him down Blistering Ice. So every 2 of them is, you know, 12 million damage. My Verdant Storms on my Novas are 3 millions when I'm below half. So, you know, Spear doing half as much as Axe. Just how it is. So that's pretty cool. So I just keep slamming into him with that. Suzaku, like wand user with his Garbog, will hit him with Kamaitachis. And the Kamaitachis do about 200,000 a tick, and they hit about 3-4 times. So he's hitting about 800,000 times 3, like every second. So about 15 mil. Or no, like, it's pretty cool. And then, what else is there? What other classes? Ice Lance, stuff like that's pretty good. Fire is not all that effective. Lightning Lance, I haven't really used Lightning on him. Let's see if I have enough monster cards to actually look at him personally. What is this current field bullshit? You stayed home today? Oh, cool, Laredale. So he is all the way at the bottom, 149. Mephistopheles. 148 doesn't exist. I don't know what that is, but it's not here. Too sore from work? Oh yeah, you're standing. So I do not know what he is weak to yet. I only have 3 cards, and I fought him 55 times. So I need to get my 4th and 5th card, but I'll get that eventually. Mephi resist lightning? Okay, thanks. So yeah, the best things you want to hit him with are ice, wind, and mountain. Yeah. So fire is probably not that effective. Let me just open this up here. Because I can click on Mephistopheles right now. Alright, here he is on the wiki, bestiary. So he's weak against wind, mountain. He is strong against slice, impact, and pierce. So basically everything. So nothing is going to be immune except for wand. He's very strong against multi-hit and poison. So single hit moves are going to be better. He is very strong against fire, lightning, dark, holy, rain, and critical resistance. And critical resistance just means, like, I don't know the exact numbers, but I assume you have like half the crit force you do, or your crit. Let's say your crit force is like 200, maybe your crit force is like 1.7 or something. I don't really know how much, but he's going to resist it to some degree. He is neutral to ice and flight, so flight and ice. But flight doesn't really exist, but it's always there, and that's it. So the only things you should hit him with are ice, wind, and mountain, just like I said. Never hit him with poison or fire, lightning, dark, anything like that. Is that all the elements, though? Fire, lightning, dark, holy, rain. Yeah, I guess. So, that's pretty cool. Oh, that's true. Oh yeah, 7k max. I heard about that. Like repair cost always counts on how much durability is left. Like if I have my L is missing like 30 durability. So if I repair the L, which is still a, high weapon? Question mark? It's going to cost like 3,500. Like, it's not much. But if you were to fully break it and it was at 7,000 durability, you're probably looking at a $3 million repair. So that's not too bad. And Mephistopheles regularly drops million chests, so don't worry about making money. Don't worry about that at all. And alcohol, I'll always use Chidori, Moth Orchid, and then Feast of the Damned. I'll sometimes pop a Feast if I know I'm fucked and I can't get out of his lightning. I'll just pop it and keep hitting him. That's what I'll do. In our first Hell run, that's what we did. So let's go to the rankings here. Just look at how things are. Closer to 2 million? Okay. Angel Leverton. I just got a new Vanguard and I have to say she's good. Oh, you got Himiko? That's cool. So on normal, the fastest time is Sakito, just under 3 minutes. Then Rain, then Cluster, then Badass Wing, Hotaru, Chosen One, yada yada yada. Then after that, on hard, has anyone soloed him on hard? On Akazo, Rain, Distraught, Sakito, Sexy. So they pretty much have the same time. But 11 minutes on hard, so that's the difference from 3 to 11 minutes. Pretty cool. And then after that we have Hell. Has anyone soloed Hell yet? Anakazo soloed hell. He is the first person to do it, and it took him 25 minutes. I don't know how many soul eggs it took, but goddamn. Or even OC. Don't know. You're level 34, but you need help? That's cool. Okay. So, you know, by himself, 24 minutes hell. It's understandable. I know the guy. But if we go to party, on normal, we are currently the fastest at 1 minute and 4 seconds. But their group did pretty good too, at 1 minute 18 seconds. But there were 5 people and we were 4, so I don't know how that's going to work out. But, yeah. So, you know, as long as you have a good group, you can do it. I didn't know Skokolade played with them. Very interesting. So they've done a lot of 1 minute 41s. We've done 3 people like that. Yeah. So on normal, about 1 to 2-3 minutes is about your average time. So then on hard, we only played hard once, and we got 6 minutes. So hard looks like it can be done in 3 minutes based on that group. So that's very, very interesting. So Skokolade, axe user, Saki2, axe user, High Dollar, spear user, Distraught is sword, and Anakazo is sword. So 2 swords. Lots of wind element from these 3 people here, and lots of ice element from them. And then hell. So far, only 2 groups have done hell, and I have 2 rankings for hell because I'm first and second. So first time I did hell, we did it 8 minutes, and then. Second run, I did it with some other people. I joined J-Boy, Jero, and Sexy, and we did it in 19 minutes. So that's pretty cool. So I'm looking on average 10-minute hells, 5-minute hards, and, you know, 1-minute normals. Pretty easy. So, you know, I didn't expect this to go an hour long, but there's a lot to say about Mephistopheles, so, you know, lots to look forward to, all that good stuff. So for those still here who listened, you know, thanks for listening. Hope you guys learned something. If any of you guys have questions about Mephistopheles or comments or things you want to add, things I don't know about, by all means, post that in the comments. You know, I always read the comments. And another thing I just want to mention is when you start the fight with Mephistopheles, he is impervious to damage. Do not attack him at the beginning of the fight, like for like the first 20 seconds, because he doesn't take damage. I was with a guy yesterday, and he didn't, like, Jero just kept hitting him and he didn't take damage. However, there was something I noticed that Jero did, and it was really cool. So, because he's invincible at the beginning and doing an animation, you can't hurt him. However, it is technically possible to get behind Mephistopheles' little red skull thingy, and to get behind his little red skull thingy, and if you can manage to do that before the fights, like before he starts actually getting aggroed, Mephistopheles will turn around and he won't even be looking at you. And when this happened, we literally had like free firing range. Yeah, his lightning would still hit you and stuff, but he was behind us. He couldn't hit us. He couldn't, when he fell down, he couldn't fall on us. We had like free range to just beat him up from behind. You could probably backstrike and just go in, but that's not, you know, it's not something that's important. But if we can learn to master this cheese, by God, we'll be doing like 3-minute hells, 5-minute hells. Like if we can master that, like get the formula down, it's done. It's done, baby. So like I said, I'm done here. It's been an hour. Thanks for listening. I can't believe I talked for a whole hour. It's like a lecture. I feel like a professor here using that degree. But yeah. So Mephistopheles should be fun. Should be a fun time. It should definitely give us something to do until the next update comes out. So guess MMORPGs too. Yeah, they can be very complicated, Wordsworth. So but like I said, I got to get out of here, maybe grab some lunch, and definitely do my daily challenges. So likewise, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.